Okay, so we're going to move right on to our second speech. And right here, I am so excited to hear this. I don't think I've ever really heard Ellen before. Ellen moved to Southern California to work in the entertainment industry. She will share with us how she made herself feel at home. And would you put your hands together and bring to the stage Ellen Rosentrecher.
Hello, Toastmasters. I'm going to share a bit of my story with you today and actually harken back to what we just heard, where you mentioned some other service organizations like the Lions Club and the Elks Club. I'm actually going to share with you today how I make myself feel at home in a new community through volunteerism. I myself am a corporate brat. I moved around every 2 years for the first 10 years of my life because my dad's job transfers. And people hear that and they ask me if I'm military. That's always the first thing that comes to mind. And no, it's not that exciting. It's corporate. But what that taught me was how to be the new kid. And I play that role pretty well, to the point where it's helped me out in my work life. I can do what's called day play, which is acting like a substitute teacher. I get called when there are big calls, when there are big days, when someone's sick. I get a call in the middle of the night to come to work on a day basis. And I get to come in, be the new kid, like shine, because whatever I do is helpful and unexpected, and that role suits me well. But I drove into town in my little U-Haul, unloaded into my apartment, all excited to make it to LA and work in entertainment. And then when everything was unpacked, I sat there and stared at my four walls and realized that I was in town all alone with my family in another state. So for me, volunteering has been a way to create a community and make myself feel at home. And I'm here to share with you 3 ways of making a home in your community, which is to look at what you need, what you can give, and then how you can inspire. So for me, I needed family, and I like to work with kids. I don't have any kids of my own, and because I'm in another state, I don't get a lot of time with my extended family and their kids. So I chose to do something that I had done in my youth. I reached out to the local 4-H club, and I became a 4-H leader. So to do that, I use my talents. I like to do arts and crafts, and I like to cook. So these are the things that I teach the kids in 4-H. Another part of my life, as most of you have heard by now, I have dogs. And I ended up calling the agency or the rescue that I got my puppy from. Of course, dog rescues, they all need you to work adoption events. For me, that would have meant coming home with a new animal every weekend. So I can't help out in that manner. What I did was I looked at my talents, which tend to be on the business and organizational side. My friend who runs this rescue is very good at finding homes for dogs, at pulling dogs, at working with animals. She's a dog trainer. What she's not good at is organizing volunteers, fundraising, all those operational tactics. So I started setting up 1 night a month. We do dine out nights, fundraisers. I can do this set up work in my own time and not have to show up and have every weekend dominated by adoption events. But because I go to these events, when I set them up, I have gotten to know the other volunteers and found some friends and common allies and really helped the rescue. So that's another thing that I enjoy doing in my free time. So that was what I needed, was family. What I could give was my own talents and being a leader with projects that I enjoy, like needlepoint crafting and cooking, and looking at my own talents and the business skills that I utilize to set up their fundraisers. And the last way that I would like to talk to you about volunteerism is looking at what you can inspire, or what you can, the legacy that you provide. With the 4-H club, I got to see the kids grow and mature, especially over the years. It was a lot of fun to see them grow up and to teach them new skills. And in the rescue, I've really seen the organization be strengthened as I've taught them these tools in the business side of their organization. I set up these fundraisers it's up to them what they make of it. If they publicize it, if they bring out their past adopters, it has a life of its own beyond me. And I've kind of handed that over as a gift to this organization and let them see how they can run with it. So it's interesting to me to see her, my friend who organizes this rescue, pay more attention to the business side because of what we've done together. So in that way, I get to see how I've contributed and created kind of a lasting legacy. And so I encourage all of you, if you're feeling like you're staring at your four walls and you don't have a family, look to your community because you can make your own through volunteering. Thank you very much.